All right, Primal sister girlfriend, let's nail macros. You're going to need some scales to weigh yourself on. You're going to need a calculator and you're going to need Google. So let's get on with it. In this video, I'm going to tell you what the heck macros even are. We're going to work out how much energy your body needs. So why not play along with me now and work it out once and for all? It can take a little bit to get your head around, but once you've got it, it just makes you feel like you're on, you're like in control. You know what your body needs, and it's less a bit of a guessing game, and you feel a bit more confident that you're going to get the results that you want. We're going to determine your ideal macronutrient profile. So how much of each macronutrient do you need personally a day? And I'm going to explain, and so that you'll understand, the carbohydrate curve, because this is what's key about going primal compared to eating the standard Australian diet. And we're going to work out your deficit for weight loss if weight loss is your goal. And I'm going to run you through an example of me as we go. So what even are macronutrients? Well, they're basically the foods that we need in a large amount in our diet. And it's protein, fat, and carbohydrates. And the standard conventional wisdom has been a very, very low fat, high carbohydrate diet, which hasn't worked. So how much does your body, how much energy, and we're going to talk about calories, and normally be like, it's so 90s, but we're going to talk about calories, and we're going to look at it as simply a way of measuring energy. Okay, so let's not get too hung up on calories. So you can do some tricky calculations, but it's so much easier to do it online. So I'm just gonna stop this share. I'm gonna, hello, bigger face now. I'm gonna take you to Google because Google is so cool. I'm just going to type in the search bar basal. Oh, look, I've done it before. Basal metabolic rate calculator. So that basically means what your body needs, how much energy your body needs just to survive. Okay. So you can see there's loads of them. I like this one by the food coach. So I'm going to click on her. And I'm going to convert my weight into pounds because that doesn't seem as bad as kilos. And no, I'm joking. And we're going to use pounds later to calculate how much protein we're going to need. So it's really easy. Just use Google again. So if you only know your weight in kilos, then you just add in, like 65 kilos as pounds or whatever you are as pounds, and it will come up with it. So my weight in pounds is 152 currently. And centimeters, I'm 166, or you could also put it in inches if you're still that way, 42. Now, exercise-wise, it does specify the sort of lifestyle you have, because that depends on how much energy your body needs. So I'd say I was moderately active. And I'm going to get the results in calories simply because I'm British. I don't really get kilojoules, but you could do whatever works for you. And it will calculate. So just to keep me alive, I am looking at a basal metabolic rate of 2,198 calories per day, that is. Okay, so that's quite a lot, isn't it? So that's loads to work with. So what we're looking for, if you're wanting a sustained weight loss, you want to be looking at a caloric, remember that just means energy, deficit, that means you've got less than you need, than your body needs. So instead of using the calories that you're consuming, your body is going to start using the pounds or kilos of body fat that you've got in your stores. Okay, so we're looking at 20%. You don't want to go any more than that, otherwise it's really going to wreck your hormones, your willpower, and we want sustained. We're always looking for something that's easy to do and something we can stick to. We don't want any crazy ass hard shit that we're just going to feel deprived with, fall off the wagon, don't let me get into a rant about it, off we go. Okay, so my basal metabolic rate, that's the number of calories I need just to be alive in this body with my moderately active lifestyle is 2,198 calories. So if I want to lose some weight, which I do because I'm just coming off the back of some thyroid issues, which is stacked on about 8 kilos, and I'm quite keen to dial down my macros and create a 20% deficit so I can start using up all that wonderful stored body fat that my clever body has stored away, thinking that I was starving and running away from something. And we're going to use that to create the energy that I need just to sustain my body. Okay, so I'm looking at 1,750 calories per day. It's pretty reasonable, I reckon. So we're going to work out from that, how many carbohydrates do you need a day? So I'm going to introduce you here. If you haven't seen it before, this is the Primal Blueprint carbohydrate curve. It's something that Mark Sisson's put together, and it's a really good visual so you can work out how many carbohydrates are for you. So as you can see at the top here of the carbohydrate curve, we've got 300 grams of carbs per day, which, shock horror, is the standard Australian diet if you're taking most of your food from carbs. So if you're taking in bread, pasta, cookies, biscuits, pizzas, that kind of thing, then you're going to be eating over 300 grams of carbs a day. And that's really the danger zone. And when I talk about danger zone, we're talking about, cardiovascular risk disease factors and obesity. Huge problems, the biggest problems that we've got right now as the human race. So anything between 150 grams of carbs to 300, it's weight gain. Okay, from 100 to 150 grams of carbs per day, that is effortless weight maintenance, and that is so easy to maintain with Primal. And as you know, I'm a Primal diehard. I totally live my life like this. And I was really wondering what was going on with my macros, and that's why I've taken this, piqued interest in it, is simply because I was eating enough carbs to maintain my weight. And that's easy to do, right? Just eating primally, it's so easy. You don't even have to worry about it. You don't go into the massive weight gain thing, but it's really easy to eat what you want from that. Now, if you're wanting to lose weight nice and easily, but still have some, not feel any deprivation at all, aim for 50 to 100. This is where we're aiming for. Between 50 to 150 is where we're aiming for in Thrive, okay? That's what you want to be looking at, 50 to 150 grams carbohydrates per day. If you're into keto, which I'm doing a little bit of at the moment, I'm looking at between 0 to 50. Obviously 0 is ridiculous, but up to 50 grams of carbohydrates per day. So once you've decided what your sweet spot is, maybe you're going to pick 80 as a number, let's say, or if you're happy with you've got your ideal body composition and your ideal weight, then you're around 100 to 150. So just pick a number which works best for you. Then times it by 4, because that's how many calories there are per gram of carbohydrates. So for me, I'm under 50, so I'm going to get 200 calories per day from carbohydrates because I'm doing the keto reset. So what is the right number for you? So just take a moment to scribble it out and work it out. Now, how much protein? You really need to work out your weight into pounds, because I don't know what it is, what the equation is. You can tell I've been trained by an American. So Google it again, good old Google. And what you need to do is jump on the scales and work out your lean muscle mass. So here's mine. You know what? I'm keeping it real. This is really what it is. So my total body weight is 152 pounds, of which 33% is fat, which is 50 pounds of fat. Core. My body's going to go crazy on all of this amazing energy that's there for the taking. So my lean body mass is 102 pounds. I hope you're keeping up. So to maintain, we don't want to lose lean body mass. We don't want to have that catabolic effect in our body where our body's like, we've got no energy, we need to eat all of H's muscles. We don't want that. It's really important to keep your protein up, but not too high, because if you eat too much protein, it converts to glucose in the body by a process called neoglucogenesis or gluconeogenesis. I never know which way around it is, but it basically means one of those things. It basically means that your body will convert any excess protein into sugar, which basically has the same effect as too much carbohydrates equals weight gain and all the other things that come with that. And that was really the downfall of the Atkins diet. But anyway, moving on. So for me, it's 102 pounds times 0.7 grams. So now know that I need to eat 71 grams of protein per day. And let me tell you, that's quite a lot of meat, which is great because yummy. So that's 285 calories per day for me from protein. Take this time to work it out for you, because it takes me, like, I've done this for like 4 years now, and it still takes a lot to get my head around. I have to refer back to the book and stuff to get it right. Okay, so take the time, because it's really, you're on this N=1 self-discovery journey. It's good to know what your body needs if this floats your boat. So how much fat should you be eating? Okay, well, here's my example again. So if I want to, this is me for my weight loss, because I want to lose weight. You might not want to lose weight. That's cool. But so you could stick with your basal metabolic rate of calories if you don't want to lose weight. And if you want to gain weight, all you would do is just add 20% on. So you'd be having too many calories a day, which would mean you'd gain weight, which is great if that's what you want to do. So mine is 175, which is my basal metabolic rate, minus 20% because I want to lose some fat. So 1,750 calories per day minus 485, which are the carb and protein calories that we just worked out, means I will be eating 1,265 fat calories per day. Yeah, baby. And there's 9 calories, not 4, for fat. So I just divided that. 1,265 divided by 9 equals 140 grams of fat a day for sustained weight loss and sustained satisfaction from eating, I tell you. So just some finishing points. Create your deficit. If you're new to Primal, create your deficit from your carbohydrates. So take your 20% off the carbohydrates calories. So you want to be taking 20% off your carbohydrate calorie intake per day, unless your carbs are down to 50 grams like mine, because that's low enough. All right, we don't want to be eating less carbs than that, because it's just not really very doable. So then I'm taking my deficit from my fat. Okay, so this is all really good to know, but what's important to really just keep you on track and to get that accountability and just seeing day to day where you're at, even if you just do it for a week, or even if you just do it for the whole of the 21 days of Thrive, then I recommend an app called MyFitnessPal. It's completely free. You can upgrade for $7.99, I think it is, a month to get some advanced features, which I've done, which I found to be really helpful. And I think $7.99, it's nothing, is it? And just remember, like, I really want to stress this, because I've never gone down and looked at macros before. And the reason I didn't do it was simply because I just thought, oh, that's a bit sad, being so geeky and getting it down. I just want to be an intuitive eater and eat what I want to eat. And, you know, I had a lot of resistance to it, but I wasn't getting the results that I wanted eating this way. You know, my thyroid went haywire. I gained weight. I just wasn't feeling foggy, fatigued, and flat. It just wasn't a cool place to be. So now it wouldn't be good to be going keto when my thyroid was so out, by the way, but I spent last term chomping at the bit to try keto, but focusing on getting my thyroid fixed. And this term now I'm giving keto a go, and I have to say, so far, so good. I'm enjoying it a lot. But use this as an awareness tool and keep it light. Don't get too bogged down in it. If it starts to do your head in, just leave it. If it brings up bad patterns of when you were a teenager and counting calories, don't do it now, you know, that kind of thing. But I've just found it to be a really light and insightful way for me to really dial into my macros. I'm actually eating less calories now, but the food is so much more satisfying and I'm feeling a lot better. I was literally hungry every 2 to 3 hours before, and it turns out I was eating way too many carbohydrates, even though I was eating from the Primal range of meat, fish, fowl, eggs, nuts, seeds, rich vegetables, fats, and oils. Good to know. I was also eating not enough protein, and I also wasn't eating enough fat. And I think a lot of that comes from our social conditioning around, the old school methods of fat is what makes you fat, which we now know is flawed conventional wisdom. But it's really interesting if you have ever been in that 90s mindset, really interesting to actually look at how much fat you're eating and think, actually, I can eat loads more. Give me another avocado and a handful of nuts and I'm away. All right, well, that's it. I hope this has been really helpful and useful. I'd love to know your questions. Feel free to fire away, and we'll be touching in on macros a bit more through this journey. But what I will say to you is, don't try and nail it overnight. It takes a good few weeks to get your head around. When you start using MyFitnessPal, if you choose to, you'll be really pleased to see that a lot of the foods that you eat are already in the database, so you can just bring those across. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. So don't freak out, basically. Give it a go if it feels like something you want to do. See you now. Bye.